Alright guys, so I know it's been a while since our last video and there's a good reason for that. If you guys haven't been living under a rock, you know how
Something called COVID-19.
this little tiny thing going around in the air. I can smell it, but yeah, so all the gyms are closed, everyone's shows are canceled. And I know this series was supposed to be a journey where I brought you guys with me to my first show ever, and cool, you know, but unfortunately, just like all the other shows everywhere, my show didn't get canceled. It got postponed. They finally released the new date yesterday, and I believe it's for sometime around mid-September. So not all hope is lost. It is a little bit far from right now, so I'm just gonna update you guys real quick. From the last episode, I believe I was around 8-9 weeks out. So I was getting up there, and then the week afterwards, that's when they decided to cancel it.
Now
So
you're like 26 weeks out.
I'm like 26 weeks out from the recording of this video. Fun, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm not gonna take my diet super seriously. I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm still counting my macros, prepping my meals, but I'm not going to keep cutting for 26 weeks. I'm just gonna kind of maintain under 190. That way, come like 16 weeks, I can trim down at a nice pace. Hopefully, I won't have to work out from a park anymore, because that's what I've been doing ever since the gym's closed, because what can you do?
I'm saying you should post the park workout. I think
okay, I've been meaning to post the park workouts, but I've been going at around 6:30 since the gyms have closed. So let me just kind of get in the mojo and the groove of things, because as of right now, I'm just zombieing my way through the workouts, and it's been grueling, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do.
I mean, there's still a couple recommendations. I think you wanted to make this video just to put out a couple of things. So I'm not sure if you can tell, but we don't have the same body types. A lot of y'all might relate a little bit more to me than to Brandon, unless all of Brandon's audience is competing. But although I wouldn't recommend necessarily like a Berserk as a pre-workout anymore, there are still lots of things that I feel could help you in these next, like, let's say 2 to 4 months of like maybe not doing anything. And that's on us hoping for a good 2 to 4 months. So we don't know if this is gonna last longer, right? So
actually, yeah, that might be something good to talk about in this video. Which supplements to take?
Yeah,
for
and I have a
this
couple
situation.
of ideas, right? Right off the bat, if you're used to Burt's Bar, I love recommending stuff with like high stim, high focus, beta alanine. I'm crazy about those things. But for right now, I think a lot of what I would recommend would be a lot of non-stims, a lot of like low stims, a lot of things that aren't gonna get you super like crazy, because if you're gonna be going on a run, I don't want your heart being super jacked up for the majority of that, and you probably won't get as intense a workout at your home gym, at a park, or anything like that, at least at the beginning, that you would have at the gym. So right now I'm actually recommending a lot of things like the Oxy Shred, not even only as just like a pre-workout, but also as just like a day-to-day drink. It has a good immunity boost. It has a great thermogenic. It tastes great, so you don't feel like it's actually a fat burner or anything like that. And if you choose to take it before your workout or anything like that, it's a great little boost. The OxyShred Non-Stim, which is actually one of our great flavors. So, just for reference, the OxyShred, my personal favorite, kiwi strawberry, the OxyShred Non-Stim, and Kiss My Peach accordingly. Both of those would be great options, as well as I feel like the Vasal Blitz would be a good option, and maybe even the veins, the Dragon Farmer veins.
Yeah. So something ideally low stim, because a lot of us are just working out at home. We are going to be pushing ourselves more than anything. We just want to maintain.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to be doing any 500-pound deadlifts anytime soon, unfortunately.
I mean, unless you have a home gym, which awesome, and let us know so we can go over.
Dude, I get so not mad, but I get so jealous of the people that post about them like working out at their home gyms, and they have like a decked out squat rack and
it's like,
shingles
bro, why
with
do you
bumper
have a gym
plates.
membership?
And no. And then in the caption, they're like, "Oh man, it sucks that I have to work out in my home gym and I'm at my gym." And I'm like, dude, count your blessings, man. What I would give for a squat rack right now.
Another thing that I would recommend right now would be some proteins, but very specific proteins. Whey proteins and casein proteins are great in their own time and in their own respect. But what I would recommend right now are good quality vegan proteins if you can find them, like the Blessed proteins. Blessed has an amazing line. These Blessed, just because they also have 23 grams of protein, and the reason I say vegan ones is because they're lighter on your stomach, and I want you to be able to process all this without adding extra stuff to your your macros and stuff that you might have a hard time.
And if you're eating cereal already like 4 times a day, which I know some of you out there are, probably adding more dairy products like from whey protein won't mix very well for a lot of
that. Some isolate protein like the Isoflex, and something that goes unnoticed a lot, but I think it's a silent killer. Carnitine. Carnitine would be great right now, just because carnitine helps break down. I don't want to say break down fat, but
mobilize.
It actually get it going. So a lot of times, a quick explanation: you have complex body fat. That's all the stuff that everybody wants to lose in those hard to reach places. Carnitine makes it so that is actually put to use while you're working out. And if you can actually use it while you're working out, you have a much greater chance of actually seeing it go away. So carnitine is a very, very cheap supplement that you could be taking right now. And all these things are, I want to say on the low end, because even though OxyShred is like $60, it's still relatively cheap because it's about $1 a scoop. So if you're local in our Rio Grande Valley area, you can cop it like that. But we now actually have a website up, shopenergym.com, shopenergym.com. We'll have all of these stuff listed on there right now.
And I think one of the things that I would like to mention about the OxyShred, this isn't just a shameless plug. I know that since we're all going to be at home, one of the problems that we're constantly facing while at home is when you get bored, you get hungry. And this kind of helps with that. It's not a severe, it's not a huge appetite hunger suppressant, but sometimes you have to choose between a juice, a Coke, or this, this has basically, I don't know, 5 calories per scoop. It's gonna give you a little boost of energy, so it's not as harsh as a lot of energy drinks out there, and it's also gonna help kind of curb your hunger. So when you get home and you're bored and you don't have things to do, you gotta get some chores done, but you're not really feeling it. You throw this one in there, you'll get some energy to get your chores done, maybe get your homework in if you're a student doing online classes, because I know it can be a little distracting sometimes when you're feeling kind of tired, you're getting kind of bored, you're like, maybe I should do my homework, maybe I should get a bowl of oatmeal, well, you could just take this, and it's not going to magically make everything better, but it does help.
It's kind of like just chipping away at it. And especially, we love to drink coffee just about every day, and I'm not going to say we're perfect about it. Sometimes we like a little bit more sweeter coffee than other days. And if you're able to even just replace your coffee with an OxyShred, it'll do you wonders. And like I said, we only like to carry products in this store that we personally take ourselves, that we see have worked for our customers in the past, or that we see are good overall. So we've actually cut out a lot of the stuff. We only like to carry what we feel is at the top of the food chain or up there with the rest of them.
And a lot of you guys do take pre-workouts. I recommend to stick with pre-workouts, not as a daily thing, but now the issue isn't that, okay, so we take pre-workouts for a couple reasons. A lot of us want to keep working out for longer, get a better sweat in. Some of us want to break through PRs and just smash those numbers. Now you're at home and you're like, man, I don't have the same goals, you know, I don't have that same intensity, so I don't need this pre-workout that's gonna get me all like amped up. Well, you don't have to stop taking it, you just have to adjust to the type of training. Yeah, okay, because now the issue isn't that you have to break through PRs or get a longer workout. Now the issue you're faced with is that the drive to work out, because you're at home, you're comfortable, you can get distracted with a million other things that you could be doing instead of working out. So if you find yourself lacking that drive, a pre-workout might not be the worst idea in the world. Granted, as long as you're not taking
reason. The last thing you want to do is like go out for a jog and then like stock up like the berserk with the band.
Yeah, maybe like half scoop it, even quarter scooping it, just something to get you in that mindset of like, okay, I took because that's one of the things I love about taking pre-workout is that as soon as you take it, that's it. It's, you know, you're not gonna go and do some paperwork after. Some psychopaths will, but most reasonable people will take a pre-workout and they understand, after I take my pre-workout, it's time to go. It's time to work out. You don't have an option, you know? So don't give yourself room to do something else. Take your pre-workout at a reasonable amount so that you can have that mentality to be disciplined and to work out at home and do what you gotta do to get a good workout.
I mean, it's why I recommended at the beginning. I recommended the OxyShred non-stim, the regular OxyShred, maybe even the OxyShred hardcore, depending if like that's what you're going for. The Vasoblitz, like the veins, just slow things like that, because right now what you're looking for isn't necessarily like a crazy stimulant. It's right now what you're looking for is that little bit of extra kick. I'd go as far as to saying maybe even the full blitz if you're going to half scoop it, right?
Yeah.
Just because it'll have that DMAE that helps for focus. Right now you just want to kind of put yourself into that zone and have yourself in that.
For reference, for some of you guys that might not be familiar, the full blitz is this one by Build Fast Formula. So this is a great all-around pre-workout.
It's my personal favorite.
Yeah, we're both huge fans of it. When we originally didn't start with this one, we started with the Vasoblitz, which is the non-stim version, and they sent us some samples of this, and he was kind of skeptical at first.
Yeah, well, so the way we approach things at the store is, I know for most of you guys, if you guys walk into a store, you see the pre-workout wall and they have like 50 different pre-workouts and they all do very similar things, right? There's a couple of outliers, but for the most part they're all the same. So I didn't want us to have a wall of just the same pre-workouts. So we have a good spectrum, what we like to call it, and we have anything from like, let's say a beginner C4, right? The C4 is going to be very, very, very like for people that are not only new but also don't really take caffeine, have never taken beta alanine, like they're brand new to even like coffee, right? The C4, maybe even the OxyShred would be something like there, depending on what they're going for, all the way to maybe like a berserk, which is like super high stimulant, and it will, a lot of people even half scoop it, some people double scoop it depending on their potency, and then everything in between. The reason I was a little hesitant at first is because I wanted to get a great non-stim, which I had in the Vasoblitz. But a lot of you guys might be familiar with the NitroFlex pre-workout from GAT. And I wanted to find an adequate pre-workout to replace that while not just giving our customers a BS option. I didn't want to just replace it for the sake of replacing it. So when we got it, I was completely skeptical. I was as hard as someone could be on a pre-workout, because I'm one of those psychopaths Brandon's talking about. I can take a berserk scoop right now and work on whatever needs to be worked on and not go to the gym. I'm one of those psychopaths. So when I tried the full blitz, I was a little bit thrown out for whack because it has 800 milligrams of DMAE, which is kind of like, it'll throw you for a loop because you're in the zone. And once I found that out, it's completely replaced our NitroFlexes. So that's where it kind of stands right now. I was as hard a critic as you could be with it, and it performed.
So that's the story on, again, the full blitz. But yeah, I know if this is still going on by the time you're watching this, it might be a little unreasonable for us to say, hey, you need this, this, and this. No, these recommendations are simply for people that, one, can afford it, and two, that lack that drive
Or that little
to
extra
to get your home workouts in. Maybe you have a little extra money, you haven't caught up with your supplements. If you're thinking of going back into supplements, I highly recommend you find something low stim but stimulant nonetheless.
Take a different look at it.
Yeah, because you're going to need that drive now more than ever. Some of us more than others, because at home, like I said, a million distractions, and you want to still be able to at least maintain your muscle by getting a good workout in. So it wouldn't be the worst idea. Proteins, I mean, I'd say protein is standard. If you can get it from food, obviously better.
Yeah.
But right now, I know resources are a little scarce. I don't want
I'd say to keep it as close to clean as we can.
Yeah, keep it clean right now, guys, because the food that is still on the shelves is gonna be a little dirty, and you're gonna be very tempted to eat a little off diet.
I'll be honest. I've watched 2 movies since I've had to go home, and I've had I've had some chips, and then I think I went to your house. So like it's easy to forget, right?
Yeah.
So it's just
So
finding these alternatives. And like I said, so from the first time that he made Burt's Bar, we only had people only around us locally had access to it. Now, with our website shopenergym.com, you can have access to these supplements from wherever you are in the United States for right now. So if you actually have been liking the Oxygen Non-Stim, and I know the EHP website sells out from time to time, we do have pretty good prices on a lot of these things, especially on stuff like carnitine and stuff. I know on our website they're like 25 bucks.
So you can find all of these in our website, and that's just, well, one, to help us out. We're a local business, we're not a huge chain. You can find a lot of great supplements at our website at a good price.
And we're trying to do things different, right? We're not trying to do like what big corporations do, or what like big chain stores do, and just get whatever is popular and get whatever will get people through the door. We like to take some thought and put some effort into what we bring into the store, which is why we like to do this. And we'd appreciate the support and allow us to actually keep this going.
Yeah. So right now we're full quarantine mode here. We're able to keep the store open just because we're limiting the amount of people that come in, but traffic has definitely come down a bit since then. It's obviously because of the quarantine, because I don't know about you, but I saw that, like, sorry for the brief little interruption there, but anyways, I just wanted to wrap up this episode and thank you guys so much for being patient with me. I know this episode took a little longer to make, and it's because this whole situation has been super hectic, so hopefully you guys understand. I'll try and get some more videos out pretty soon once I'm a little more settled in. But anyways, that was today's episode, and I'll keep you guys posted on the next one. And here's Bert. He's gonna say later.
Oh, check out our podcast.
Check out our podcast.
Yeah, so we should have. I should get you the link to the description. We should have that out as well as the online store. We have more than just that. We also have our menus and stuff you can make at home. And overall, just things you can check out throughout this whole quarantine.
Yeah, so we just launched those things. I'm gonna link them in the description for this video, so make sure to check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.